Alright, everything checked out, but, yeah, I think I already spent 35 minutes at this pace. This recording's gonna be, yeah, a long one. So I guess you can opt to skip it. If you haven't, well, good for you, man. And for some of that's already skipped this already, well, good for you too, because, well, yeah. This is a lot of tutorial. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so we got Tom Berry Toby. Let's make a new character. Alright, we got an Adalbert Aman. Um, Billy Bodcraft, Gentrude of Hildred, Martin, okay. News, I do love this random generator. Anyway, we're not gonna be Martin News, we're gonna pick another let's player from the Vulture Army. And he will be I guess our cleric archetype that'll concentrate on religion and virtue to give those saints a phone call when we need the miracles to happen. Alright, he will be a man under the name Inferno Canuck. Hey, Inferno. So, yeah, we got Inferno traveling all the way down from the great kingdom of Canada to Germany for the good of all of Christendom. Alright, let's begin childhood. Now he will be our cleric, so we do want to put him in a family that gives us a decent bonus to start, I think, into the virtue and religion, which will be the two skills that Inferno will be concentrating on. Yeah, again, commoners get tons of attribute points, but they don't know how to read, so they can't pick up a Bible and understand what's going on in the Catholic faith, so they don't get many points in that. So we won't be choosing that. And as we go up, you can see that yeah, they get smarter, like the nobility. I think Inferno will be born into a noble house, the great house of Canada. So yeah, from Canada. And only 89 EPs, embryo points to put into Inferno, but I think we'll do the same thing we did with Toby and put 38 and 39 here. But as a noble, we do get the option. We do have a variety of choices when it comes to occupations, but in order to meet their qualifications, we will need a sort of, I think, balanced attribute base, like so, something like that. Yeah, occupations have all sorts of requirements, be it skills or attributes. You need to meet them in order to get into them, and some of the cooler occupations will require high points into certain attributes or skills. So I think this will guarantee us that we'll be able to meet any requirement that's thrown at us. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, being a cleric is nice in the fact that you don't need to focus on any thingamajigger attribute. Just so you can put all the points into their strength. But since he's a nobleman, he doesn't get lots of points. We have to go with 38 and 39 and have a balanced attribute base. Okay, anyway, we're done. Alright, so another healthy baby boy born into, yeah, as something to the Kingdom of Canada. Yeah, being a nobility, Inferno does have the option to go into all sorts of different occupations, like Tobias, but you can see that the craftsman occupation is not here, because, well, nobles don't spend time making things, they instead buy them. But they can go immediately into they can become a traveling merchant immediately at age 15. That sounds kind of bizarre, but whatever. But we are going to take advantage of the fact that he is a noble, and he is going to become the noble heir to the Kingdom of Canada. Yeah. And Inferno, as a young youth, loved the Bible. he loved all the stories from the Bible and vowed to do all sorts of good things in the name of God, which boosted his religion and his virtue skill. Okay. But maybe his parents wanted him to practice some bow and maybe sword play, you know, because his parents always told him, you know, as the next king to Canada, you have to be responsible for the defense of the North, because from the wildlings. Even though Inferno knows that there's really nothing above Canada, his parents are kind of disillusioned to the fact that they think some vile invaders are about to come and wreak havoc to their kingdom. So Inferno has to be prepared. But yeah, he snuck out of sword practice a lot and went out into the woods and rode his pet moose around. I got one more point. And talked to it and got some speak common. But only 1 point because, you know, the moose doesn't talk back. Ride skill is very not important in this game, but it's more like for you know, roleplay. There is like 1 or 2 events that requires a ride check, but it doesn't hurt to fail it or anything, for the most part. But you know, whatever. You know, I like putting points into stealth. Stealth is my dump skill, I guess, along with religion. Stealth, kind of like agility, requires all the members of the party to succeed in it to succeed. So I just generally like to have some points into it, so if I'm that desperate, I have a sliver of chance of succeeding. I guess that'll do it for Inferno for 2H20. Alright, next occupation. Alright, so our choices drastically decreased. We can keep becoming a noble heir, or yeah, so we got all these options to join the priesthood, or yeah, to get a position at the church, or become a local trader. No, we're not gonna do that though. Right, so maybe one day Inferno snuck out permanently out of his family's estate and decided to pursue a life devoted to God. Took his moose, maybe, and alright, let me choose. And rode to Germany because he had a vision. He had a vision that, and God spoke to him, saying that Germany's endangered. You have to go and help Germany. So yeah, he rode out to Germany and established a monastery, and became an abbot, a master of this monastery, with a big flag of the Holy Cross in Canada. Anyway, that results in him becoming way virtuous. He traveled half the world to get to Germany for Christ, and yeah, increase his religion. What else? Well, he's preparing for the fight ahead, and spent the little time he had away from his duties as the master of the monastery to practice his sword and bow skills. 5 points left. Well, he had to ride his moose to get there, but unfortunately, he had to sell it maybe to establish this monastery, so not a lot of points in the ride. 2 points. I don't know. What about Latin? Yeah. Because, well, church functions require some knowledge of Latin, right? Okay. And considering he couldn't speak like a German, he had to communicate through the Latin language. Alright. Next occupation. Yeah, it increased the amount. Now we could continue being all sorts of church function occupation. Or, you know, we can just become a knight. I think I want to do that. So maybe one day, a messenger from Canada came up to him and informed Inferno that he has, he's being called back to Canada and to become a knight, defend the land of Canada from the north. So he was knighted, so to speak, I guess. Actually, I don't know the reason, but we're gonna stick with that. There we go. Sir Inferno, the Kingdom of Canada, decided to become a knight for the Lord. Yeah, let's increase his virtue. And maybe his religion. I'm gonna maximize the virtue. Yeah, religion and virtue. What they do specifically is, religion determines how much divine favor you get back when you go to regenerate it. Divine favor is this is like magic points MP that you'll see a bar representing how much you have in the character stats screen once we get to the back to the party management screen. And you need divine favor to call upon saints. Pretty much calling saints is like divine spells of, you know, D&D-ish, white magic, and religion determines how much magic points you get back, and also how fast you gain virtue through doing virtuous deeds. And virtue is like a measurement of how virtuous you are. But game mechanic wise, each saint, and there's tons of saints in this game that you can research and call out to. Each saint has a virtue requirement. Some saints require very little virtue to call, while other saints require you to be the very beacon of holiness in order to, get their help. And the saint's strength vary for depending on how much virtue it requires to cast them. With low virtue requirements being not so powerful, and high virtue being amazingly powerful, pulling off crazy miracles like splitting rivers and making you fly and stuff. Yeah, so we eventually want to have high virtue for Inferno. And virtue is not something you could train in either. You have to go and do good things to increase it, and it's a hard stat to increase in. So we want to start this as high as possible. Religion is not so hard to increase. You can go and learn religion with a bit of money. All right. What else? 7 points. Sword. And bow. I think bow also requires 20 to use effectively, so that's good. Rest into sword. Does that look good? Maybe. Should I be looking at anything else? No, you know what? I can probably reduce a few points into edge weapons. Yeah, martial skills, like I said, very easy to increase. So, you might want to actually devote more points into the two lower boxes instead of the combat skills, because some of these are very hard to increase, whereas all weapon skills are very easy too. So where do I want these 3 points at? Religion's easy to increase too. Pick something. Latin. And this. Maybe it might help me in talking to people at the church and stuff, if it ever comes down to that. All right, so Sir Inferno Canuck. Maybe ran into Tobias while Tobias was out traveling the countryside, and Inferno was making his way down to Germany. So there you go. The two unite and vow to face face all the evil that is Germany. All right. So we have two characters. And actually, I'm actually gonna pause the recording here, just in case I f up, because I already f'd up once already, and I was kind of glad that I stopped recording from once I finished Toby. So I'm gonna stop.